and walked over to Preston's car while I watched from inside. I could see him gesturing and talking with his hands moving all over the place, probably giving them some story. One officer came back inside and told me Preston claimed he was just parked on a public street and happened to be in the neighborhood visiting a friend. They couldn't arrest him, but they'd told him to leave and were documenting everything for my restraining order case. I stayed in the lobby for another hour until the doorman confirmed Preston's car was gone, and even then I was too scared to go back to my apartment. The next morning, I had to be at court by 9 for the restraining order hearing, and my stomach was in knots the whole subway ride there. Walking into that courtroom and seeing Preston already there in his best navy suit with an actual lawyer next to him made me want to throw up. He was sitting there looking all professional and calm like he was the victim in this whole thing. The judge started reviewing all the evidence while Preston sat there with this fake concerned expression on his face. His lawyer stood up and started talking about how the voice message was taken out of context and how I'd orchestrated a social media hate campaign against his client. My lawyer stayed calm and just laid out the timeline showing every text Preston sent after I blocked him and how he hacked my Instagram and posted those photos. The judge looked at Preston and asked him directly why he accessed my Instagram account without permission. Preston's lawyer tried to answer, but the judge cut him off and said he wanted to hear from Preston himself. That's when everything changed because Preston couldn't keep his cool anymore and started ranting about how I made him do these things by humiliating him. He actually said I was probably sleeping with someone from that Pilates class, and that's why I was trying to get this restraining order. The judge told him to stop talking and granted the restraining order for 1 full year effective immediately. Preston stormed out with his lawyer basically running after him trying to calm him down. I sat in a coffee shop afterward feeling weirdly empty instead of happy about winning. The barista noticed my shaking hands and brought me a free cookie with a little heart drawn on the napkin which made me tear up. These random acts of kindness from strangers kept hitting me harder than they should. I texted the group chat about the restraining order and my phone basically exploded with celebration messages and hearts and champagne emojis. Sophia said tomorrow's Saturday class would be a celebration of strength in my honor, and Miranda said she was bringing actual champagne for after. For the first time all week, I felt like maybe things would be okay. That evening, Mrs. Davidson texted me that Preston got fired from his job because apparently his company has a zero-tolerance policy for employees with restraining orders. She said the scene he made when they served him at work didn't help, and now he was moving back to her house on Long Island, and she was getting him into therapy whether he wanted it or not. Saturday morning, I walked back into the Pilates studio for the first time since everything started, and everyone literally started clapping, which was super embarrassing, but also made me feel so supported. Sophia had adjusted the whole workout to be empowering, but not too intense, and everyone kept checking on me throughout the class. After class, I finally went back to my apartment to actually stay there, and the silence felt different than before. Every little sound made me jump and wonder if Preston had found some way around the restraining order even though I knew that was impossible. I double-checked all the locks and closed every single blind and curtain which I'd never done before in the 3 years I'd lived there. The next morning, my phone woke me up at like 11 with Jasmine calling and she sounded really upset, so I picked up right away. She told me Preston had been posting all over Reddit making himself look like the victim and saying I was part of some toxic gym cult that turned me against him. She'd been trying to report his posts and comment with what really happened, but he kept making new accounts every time one got banned. I pulled up Reddit on my laptop while she was still talking and found one of his posts in a relationship advice sub with like 300